Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jake's RC Stuff. And look, we are at a field. We are at a field. We're at the flying field. It's 2 degrees in the middle of March-ish. 13th, I think. It's Thursday the 13th. I've suddenly realised that's good. And there is snow on the hills in the distance, and it is threatening to snow here. It's 2 degrees, if I didn't say that already. And we're going to be trying to fly, of course, the SkySurfer. So we've got the SkySurfer, we've got the Clouds Fly, we've got the White Shark, and we have my little tiny... there you go. There's that as well. Charged up all the batteries this morning. It's currently... what time is it? 10 o'clock. It's meant to rain at 2. But it's like already been fairly miserable. It literally started raining as I got here, so that was nice. So we're literally about to fly the SkySurfer. I need to put the radio together. We have had a slight casualty of this thing has broken again, and the super glue is all off, and the tape has gone brown. So and I lost the knife. I don't know where the knife is, and a few other things. So fun and games to be had. I'm all writing them down. It's probably good getting them out of the way on a bit of a miserable day like this. So I just need to get the goggles together, the radio together, and then we're basically ready to test this SkySurfer. Well, here we are about to go for it. I'm wearing a hat, A, because it's cold, and B, to try and stop my hair from going on the lenses. But here we are ready to go. The picture's good. We did have an issue with an aileron not working, but that turned out just to be the extension leading the wrong way around. So let me check the goggles are recording, and then we will go ahead and try and fly the bloody thing. Yes, the weather has come in a little bit. Well, as you'll have hopefully seen from them flights, the first one nearly ended in pieces. Basically, when I put the goggles down, the goggles were black. But I could hear the fans were still running, so I didn't have to unplug them or anything. And I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, so I was waiting for the proximity thing to turn the screens back on. It didn't. So I landed, after wetting myself slightly, rebooted the goggles, put them on again, took off, got it in a bit more of a sensible place, put them down again, and they didn't work. And I say I'd turned the screen on and off, proximity sensor, that's the word, off. And yeah, it just, no thank you. So anyway, I landed, rebooted them again, put them on, and I thought, as this is a Bixler, basically, I wonder if it could take off the floor. So I put the goggles on, and launched it off the floor, and it worked, and I did actually fly it. There was some weird green going on, at least on the recording on my end, but yeah, it just sort of flew around for 5 minutes. I was getting a little bit worried about the fact the battery voltage said it was getting low, and it shouldn't be doing. You know, it's a 3000 battery, so it should last 10 to 15 minutes if we'd only flown for 5, and it's freshly charged this morning. But to be fair to it, I didn't check it was fully charged before I put it in, like there was something wrong with the charger or whatever. And it is using more power than it probably would use otherwise because of the fact that it is quite a bit windy. But no, I've actually flown HD FPV. I don't know, I think maybe I need to go and fly some analog FPV to really hammer home the difference. But another thing is the fact that I was recording at 720 or flying at 720, not 1080. So what I'd like to do if this snow flurry stops is that I would like to give it another go at 1080p 60, you know, sort of crank all the dials up if you like, and see what it's like. As you can hear, there is a bit of, it's not too bad, it's just, it was snowing a little bit in the footage. You might see some white spots. That's not white spots in the footage, that's snow and hail and sleet and this stuff. We'll see what time are we on. I've got so many layers and I can't actually see the time. Whatever time we're on, I'll sort of go to the next quarter of the hour and see what it's like, and then if not, I might have to start taking things to bits. I've got a mat and a stool out in the snow still, because they'll survive. But everything else I've tucked in the van, nice and safe. I guess that's a good thing about coming in the van and having smaller stuff. It did say it was going to do this around 2, and I'm fairly sure it isn't 2. Maybe I'll have me dinner. I could do that while we wait, I guess. But yeah, that's it for now. We've at least done something, so we'll come back to you as and when the weather breaks. Well, about 5 minutes later, it's actually more or less stopped snowing, sleeting, whatever it's doing. So I'll go out, I'll change the goggle settings to a higher resolution and bitrate and whatever, and we'll see what that's like and give it a full test. So what I'll do is we'll get the plane back out, the goggles out, we'll get the resolution and bitrate and everything else that I can cranked up, and we'll see what it's like. But the sun is coming out. I'll get out there and let's get going. Yes, it really was snowy, sleeting quite a bit. Well, as the rain comes, sleet comes, snow comes down again, so have I. I've just realised I haven't unplugged the plane. So I'm going to unplug the plane and then we'll continue this conversation. Right, well, it turns out that I hadn't actually left it plugged in. It's now 10, 15, 20 minutes later. I've had to be lunch. And I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together the white shark, because I've brought that with me. It was bought by my girlfriend. I've actually seen it later on this evening, so it'll be nice. In terms of that last flight, as I was saying, good. Had some fun, did some rolls, inverted for a bit. The 1080p, you can tell the difference. Even just the details and stuff it picks up. I probably have just included sort of highlights of that flight because the some just short it down. I did sort of 5 for 7 minutes, and this 3000 battery went from 97% to 38%, which is a little bit. Sorry, flew for about 7 minutes. Which is a bit low, but at the same time it is like 2 degrees. So I'm not going to hold that to them too much. But anyway, let's put the white shark together. Put the new set of goggles, well, the old set of goggles, I guess, technically, but I mean, the different set of goggles together, and then we can go and fly that, and we can try the old auto launch. So the white shark is more or less together. I thought I had a bit of a nightmare. These are the batteries I'd brought. Ignore the fact I stored it, they've been charged up. Yeah, bit of a problem there. Luckily, the batteries I bought for the goggles have XT60s on them. So, and I brought one as a spare, that's fully charged, and the other one, I've been running a goggle for like 20 minutes. So it'll be alright. It'll be alright. I need to put an adapter in there, because I've not brought anything with me, which I would normally do. So I've sort of brought a light packing of stuff. I don't have adapters with me, because they, I believe, would be in the charge bag. Oh, actually, okay, so that's for the resistance tester. They're all, that would work. we'll try all these other batteries. They need a bit of a test to see what they're like anyway. So yes, let's get the battery in. Let's make sure it balances roughly right, and then we're basically ready to go. Okay, so at this point, the iPhone sort of vlogging on the day stopped. I ended up just getting stuck into flying. But before this starts, I really have to say that I do love iNav Auto Launch. Just set the switches what you want it to do next. So for me, it was just auto balance. You know, flick the switch to arm it. It'll start beeping at you to let you know it's ready, because it is. I was going to beep built in. And I had my radio on a neck strap, which I haven't used since I was about 12. So, what, 15 years later, there we are, using it again. And you can just put all your focus into actually launching the thing. You know, you're not going to end up breaking your plane. It just completely deals with itself. It's great. In terms of flying, White Shark, it's a lot of fun. These batteries were certainly struggling. I ended up landing on both flights I had of this about 2,000 milliamp, but it's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. And it went from sort of 95, 97% down to 38-ish%. So what, that's you 60% for 2,000. So it's roughly a 3,000 milliamp battery max. So yes, I don't think they'll be used for flying again. It may continue to be used as goggle batteries, but again, they are a bit big and heavy. I really didn't like the cable, to be honest. I kept trying to not get my hand like stuck in it to pull it out with the HD goggles, but luckily I don't think I had much of an issue with the black screen could be caused by, I don't know. But personally, I might look at going back to goggles and the headband, get a different headband, be able to put, battery in the headband, and see where we go from there. So in terms of the Great White Shark, fine. I believe I had some original issues with being a bit too sort of gyroed out, if you see what I mean. Like if you try and make it turn, the gyro's fought against you. Not like a wibbly wobbly way, but like you'd fling it all the way over and nothing would happen. So yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything specific about the White Shark. So yeah, I looked at the battery and stuff. I wondered if possibly the the number that you have to put into iNav to tell it roughly like how many amps it actually means, because you know on some equipment what it might read as 5 amps might be 10 amps, so you put in the slight number to change that. I forgot exactly what it's called, but based off of me putting roughly 2,300, 2,500 milliamps hours back into that battery, and it said that I'd flow for about 2,000, you could argue, well, it's 25% out, that's not great, but at the same time the batteries are a little bit dodgy, and when I was flying it, I was specifically having to fly it like below 20 amps, because anything above 20 amps it sort of seemed to start complaining about. But yeah, in terms of the White Shark, let's have a look, because I made a list of stuff to do. Oh, so it also needs the pan servo, so when I did flick to the Runcam camera that you are seeing all of this video for, it and did the panning, it is backwards, so that needs reversing. And also I want to put a brake on the motor, because otherwise it would be quite good at gliding. And I've also said the same thing for the SkySurfer. For the White Shark as well, the last thing that I need to do is I need to make an XT60 to 4mm bullet adapter to live in that plane, like possibly even physically glue it inside the plane, so that we don't have an issue with that. And ultimately, what I might need to do is start looking at new batteries. I'll see how the actual batteries I have for that plane work, but we might need to look at buying some. And I know some people are going to say lithium ion, but to be honest, I've had nothing but problems with the lithium ion ones. They never seem to do the spec they say. So to be honest with you, I don't know if we've got the pain of making them, blah, 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 blah. To be honest, there's some good deal on some like 8,000 4S or something along those lines. Probably get some and run that in it instead. We'll go back to the SkySurfer to what we need to do on that. Obviously we need to change that antenna mount. I have my dad designing a different one for the 3D printer. Essentially what it's going to be is more of a clamp. So the antennas will still go in at 45 degrees, but it's split in half. So you would sort of have that against that wooden firewall, put the antennas in, put the other half of the block on, and then you sandwich it with that screw in the middle. I also need to replace the yellowy orange extension for the aileron. It's actually sort of breaking apart the end that goes into the S-Bus decoder. So we'll swap that out. Again, possibly do I want to get different batteries for that as well. Batteries, I think, are going to be an ongoing discussion. Luckily, with both of these models, I have information on what batteries are like in terms of being able to see milliamp hours or a timer or whatever. And also, if they did ever completely die, they will float, and even if they have to land short, they've got no undercarriages on to knock out. I'm just thinking last time we went flying, we had 2, if not 3 models end up broken because of batteries running out. Those type of models, maybe at the point where I just need to buy batteries, but not exactly got the money at the minute, so we just need to try and see what we can do. But yeah, other than the other basic things I went over, like we need glue, we need a knife, we need the blender tape, stuff like that. Wasn't too bad of a day. Nothing broke, nothing major. It was only 3 hours. It was nice to go with just basic equipment, not have to spend like an hour packing, an hour depacking when we get back, and chuck stuff in. I did miss being able to watch something, so we know when it was hailing and snowing. 1 bar of 5 doesn't do a lot. And unfortunately, again, I love Starlink, but it's a bit expensive, especially for a roaming one. But I think that's going to be it. If there is anything left in the White Shark video, I will let that play out with some music from somewhere. It's a bit of a pain in the arse to find. But that's it. If you enjoyed, click the like button, subscribe if you're new, want to see more of this. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, anything like that, feel free to leave it down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.